Hello and welcome to Mama Belle's Home. I am so glad you are here. My name is Cassidy and today in this video we're going to be making some make-ahead breakfast freezer meals. If that's what you're here for, go ahead and give the video a like and let's get cooking. Alright, so first up on the menu today for our breakfast make-ahead freezer meals or breakfast freezer meals, make-ahead, however you want to word it, is these protein bowls that I make for my husband. My husband is a weightlifter, and so I want to make sure that I have some protein-heavy options for him. He does leave at 4 a.m. in the morning, so I like to make these, pop them in the freezer, and then he can just grab them. I have some other options too that I'll show you later in the video. Just make sure to stay tuned and you'll see those if you have a person in your life that you need to make protein meals for, or maybe just yourself. You want to make sure that you're getting your protein in. As mamas, especially breastfeeding mamas, we want to make sure to get our protein. When I have extra ingredients to do that, I will make it for myself and my kids, but this time it's for him. So in these protein freezer bowls, I am making him some chorizo. I'm going to go ahead and cook that up in the frying pan, in the cast iron, and then I'm going to go ahead and scramble some eggs and put it in there as the chorizo is also cooking. And then I just cook it all up at once. I'm going to put this over some cooked potatoes and top it with queso fresco. So that's what I'm going to do here, and then I will show you guys what else is going on. Alright, let's move on to these scrambled eggs. I went ahead and got 20 eggs in this bowl to scramble up for each of the protein bowls. I made 5 protein bowls. That means 4 eggs per bowl, and that's about 28 grams of protein. If you are looking to get some extra protein in your diet, or maybe your kiddos, mama, then this is the way. Eggs are a great way. 7 grams of protein each egg, and so that's at least 28 grams just protein from eggs in those bowls, plus also the chorizo and cheese. So let's go ahead and move on. I'm going to go ahead and get started on these pancakes here in a second. But if you're enjoying this video, can you please go ahead and hit the like button so that I know that this is the content that you are looking for. I want to make sure to make what you're interested in. Now, with the pancake mix, I really don't measure. If you are a measurer, then that is great. You should totally follow the instructions. But I have been doing this for so long, I go for consistency. So you see me just pour in pancake mix and then water, and I just mix it up until the consistency is right. So don't feel like you need to do this. If you are more comfortable measuring, then do that, please. Today I'm going to be making some blueberry pancakes. Pancakes are a really great way to go ahead and stock your freezer up with breakfast. They're really easy to make, plus they're cheap, and they are so versatile. You can make them all kinds of sorts of ways. Also, if you get this mix, you can also use it for waffles. You just have to add a little bit of vegetable oil and eggs. And for the waffles I'm making, I'm going to be using some frozen raspberries and some white chocolate chips. Now let's get started on this pancake batter. I use this huge whisk and giant bowl to go ahead and mix all of my stuff. I just dump it in there and mix it all up. I should have reached for my hand mixer, but next time. Anyways, if you guys are looking for some extra ideas after you watch this video, you should go check out my friend Michelle over at South Island. She is a mama of 3 kiddos, and she's also working on some freezer meals. Let her know I sent you, and I'll leave her info in the description box. Now I'm over here just whipping some stuff up. If you guys have not used a ladle to put your batter onto your griddle or your pan, you are missing out. I promise you. It is so much better than using like a measuring cup or something. Unless you have one of those fancy devices, a ladle is the way to go, and it keeps you from messes. We are now making some progress on these breakfast meals. I'm going to go ahead now and get started on the potatoes for my husband's protein bowls. I'm using russet potatoes here. Normally I would actually use sweet potatoes for my husband's protein food meal options, but I just don't feel like the sweet potatoes would be very good tasting, and I usually choose sweet potatoes because they are slow digesting carb versus this potato, which is a fast digesting carb. If you don't understand what that means, it's totally fine, but my protein people probably do. Now that I've got these all cut up, I'm going to go ahead and toss them in a pan with some oil and a little bit of water on a low heat, and that way it adds a little steam to it and helps cook it a little bit easier. And then I'm going to get started on my ham and cheese croissants for the kiddos to eat. Now that I have the potatoes cooking on the stove, I'm going to go ahead and get these pancakes off the griddle, get the next set on, and then like I said, I'm going to get started on these ham and cheese croissants for the kiddos to eat for breakfast this morning. I've been a little out of practice with these bulk freezer or like make ahead freezer meals. This is the first time actually in a couple months, and you can tell I'm out of practice. I kind of just like mismanaged my time, I guess I would say. I also have a very small waffle iron. It only makes one waffle at a time. And I think that kind of messed me up too, because once I get that started, it was taking forever and I didn't get done until almost lunchtime. Not to mention, I have 7 kiddos ranging from 15 to 6 months old who I'm still breastfeeding. And so there was a few stops in there, and I know that, like I allotted for the time for that, but it just seemed like it took so long to get this done. For the croissant rolls that I'm making, or the ham and cheese croissant rolls that I'm making, I'm just using Pillsbury rolled up croissant options. I don't really like to make croissants because I feel like I just fail. Also, it is a labor of love, but I just don't have time for it this time. So this mama is just going to go ahead and use the good old roll of croissant. I'm also using some cheese slices that got messed up. They were the thin option, and I didn't pay attention to it. I usually don't get that. And so when the kids get it out, it breaks up. It doesn't work that great, but it's good cheese. So I'm just using that and breaking it up to fit on there. And then I have some deli sliced of ham and turkey, and so I'm alternating between that. It's like a set that the store had, and I thought that was kind of cool. So each roll of croissant dough has 4 turkey and 4 ham. The kids really, I don't think, even paid attention or cared about that. They gobbled these down before I could, they weren't even cool when they ate them. It was wild. I watched my 15-year-old do the, hot mouth wave and blow out. It was hilarious, but also they were so good. The kids really love them, and this is always a win. This isn't something that I put in the freezer. Like I said, I can't even get them on the pan and or off the pan and onto a plate and cooled off before the kids are eating them, so they would never make them into the freezer. Okay, so now I got those croissant rolls in the oven, and I'm going to go ahead and whip up this pancake mix into waffle mix by adding the eggs and some vegetable oil. You can use other oils. I've used olive oil, and it doesn't really alter the taste. It's totally fine. And then I'm also just using water to go ahead and mix it up just like it calls for. And then I'm going to use some frozen raspberries and, like I said, those white chocolate chips. They turned out amazingly. I would be careful on making sure that you cook it on a low setting on the waffle iron or on the griddle, because you don't want to mess up. Yeah, I kind of burnt a few raspberries is what I'm getting at. When I was cooking them, I think that I cooked them too high too fast to try to get them done in that rush of getting all of these things made. So I don't advise that. I definitely think if you're going to do the raspberries and white chocolate chips, the raspberries were kind of get too cooked if I cooked it high. So I would advise, cooking it low and slow kind of a thing. And honestly, if you have a tiny waffle iron and a large family, it's time to upgrade. I was doing this and I just was getting so frustrated and thinking, oh, if I only had a bigger waffle iron, no worries, it'll come soon enough. Next up on the list, we have these yogurt parfaits. These do not last long in my house, especially with my girls. They love them. And again, these are like pancakes, right? Waffles. Also, they're so versatile. You can do them all kinds of sorts of ways. So I went ahead and used vanilla Greek yogurt. That's kind of the base that I always use. Sometimes I might mix it up with some strawberry, but I just feel for the most options and the most versatile option is using a plain or vanilla yogurt. My kids don't really like plain, even if I add honey. It's a slow transition. I'm trying to make them get there. But, for today, we're going to do some Walmart Greek yogurt. Greek because it's a little bit higher in protein. It's also a little bit thicker, and they prefer that consistency. I also very much prefer the consistency of Greek yogurt. I think that regular yogurt is it's not a great thing for me. So go ahead and put your yogurt in the cups. I have these cups because I do some meal prepping and meal planning and stuff like that for people outside the home, kind of like a side business. And so I just went ahead and used these. Another option is using those smaller solo cups. They have lids that can cover them, or you can even use just saran wrap or something like that to cover them so that you can get them in the fridge. These do not go in the freezer. You could probably freeze them and it would be just fine. Especially if you're using some frozen fruit to top it on, but I'm just putting them in the fridge. These do not last long. These are also those croissant rolls. Once the kids see that I make them, these are just easy for them to grab, and they usually will eat them in a couple days. So after you get the yogurt in there, you can go ahead and throw any of your toppings. I'm going to go ahead and use some granola that I picked up in the bulk section at Winco. There's a good amount of options there. I went ahead with a almond, vanilla, honey type granola. And then just for a little fun treat, I'm going to top it with some chocolate chips. I finished the second batch of the croissant rolls. I'm just going to go ahead and pop those on the same pan that the other ones are already on. Like I said, these go fast, so I'll go ahead and take the other ones out that I obviously put in there first and put those on a pan, or put those on a plate, and by the time the kids are done with those, the second ones will be ready to go. The potatoes, and then I use actually another cast iron pan to put on top like a lid because I don't want to have one that fits. So this mama is just slowly plodding away at the pancakes and the waffles, getting those done. And there's the pile so far that I have. These are the blueberry pancakes that I was telling you about. And then there's that tiny little waffle iron I was telling you about. So to the right, I have the pancake batter. To the left, I have the waffle batter, which is obviously the closest to the instrument or the tool appliance that I'm using. Now it's time to go ahead and get those breakfast bowls assembled and put together. I'm using a 1 cup measurement, so that way it's easier to make sure that it's like an even distributed, and also that way he can track a little bit easier, like how much protein and carbs and stuff like that is in each bowl. I got these great bowls, little peeky poo from my sweet Charlotte, saying hi, a little smile from her. Over in the Walmart Tupperware section, they have these great bowls that I got, which work perfectly for my husband's meal prep meals. And so these are great. They are freezer friendly. Obviously, you can get those in the freezer and then microwave and all of that kind of stuff. You shouldn't microwave plastic, but as long as it's the BPA free, it should be pretty safe. And it makes meal prepping a lot easier. These are perfect for breakfast or lunch, but like I said, I use these for his breakfast. So I just went ahead and I put a cup of potatoes in each one of the bowls, and then I got a cup or a little bit more than a cup of the chorizo and scrambled eggs mix, and then topped it with the queso fresco cheese, and then put the lids on. Here I'm trying to find the lid, and that's it. Trying to steal an egg. I don't know what it is about toddlers and eggs, but they sure do gravitate towards them. And I have cleaned up quite a few little spills of toddlers smashing eggs on floors. So anyways, I'm just here plodding away at these waffles. As you can see, my youngest, Malachi, has joined me now. It has been a while. I think that I've been at this for a couple hours at this point. And so they're getting kind of bored, and he's getting kind of fussy, ready to eat and go down for a nap. I'm getting these blueberry pancakes out and just plodding away at the waffles. I will ruin the ending and let you know I do switch from the waffle iron over to the pancake griddle, or just the griddle, I guess, electric griddle, because it was just taking so long, and we were getting close to like lunchtime, and it was just too much. So I went ahead and just made some raspberry pancakes also. Bag up these pancakes. So I went ahead and got my Ziploc freezer bags. I did put about 10, I think, pancakes in each one because that is the fitting amount for our family size. Not everybody will eat pancakes in the morning, or I have like my son who will eat maybe 2 pancakes, and my younger girls and my toddlers will maybe eat 1 or half each. And then I don't just do pancakes. I'll usually serve this with some sort of fruit and probably a protein like some cooked bacon or sausage. I do have some options in the freezer for them as well, like the frozen sausage links that they can go ahead and just microwave real quickly to cook up if they need it to, or I will just go ahead and get some popped in a frying pan in the morning, and that's a nice easy thing that I can cook while everything else is going on, as we get like started in our chores and our homeschool day and all of that. Like the meat could be cooking. I don't have to keep a really close eye on that. Also, an electric griddle is great for it too. I just tend to put it on the pan because I feel like it's the fastest, and that way I don't have to pull out the griddle for something so small. So I went ahead and I got 10 pancakes, like I said, in each of the freezer bags, and I had 3 sets of those. So 30 pancakes, the blueberry pancakes in all of it, which is great, and enough for probably like 2 weeks, because like I said, they don't always eat the pancakes, and I'm making a lot of options. So here's that third option I was saying that I make for my husband. It's protein pancakes. These are also, again, plain mix, so they're very versatile. You can add all kinds of things into them, but I find that it's much better for him to just like add peanut butter or something on it if he wants a little extra protein. And I made enough of these for 2 weeks. So he's not going to obviously eat them every day for 2 weeks. And then some extra hard-boiled eggs for the kids to add in some protein on those pancake days. So here's the summary. I have all of those waffles. This is me showing you. I switched over from the waffles to the pancakes. I have all the waffles, all the pancakes, the 5 protein bowls for my husband. I did get those ham and cheese croissants out for my kiddos, but those are devoured and I can't show you that. Here's the huge pile of waffles and pancakes. There's protein pancakes for my husband, blueberry pancakes for the kiddos, and then we're going to walk over to the fridge and I'm going to show you those yogurt parfaits. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Make sure to give it a like and I will see you in the next one. Thanks for visiting. See you later. Bye.